Welcome to the Story Bypass, where we uncover the untold narratives of history's most influential figures. In today's episode, we delve into the life and legacy of one of the most notorious figures of the 21st century, Osama bin Laden. Join us as we unravel the layers of this complex individual, examining his background, motivations, and the impact he had on the world. Let's dive in. Early life and background. Osama bin Laden was born on March 10, 1957, in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, into a wealthy and influential family. His father, Mohammed bin Laden, was a successful construction magnate, providing Osama with a privileged upbringing. However, his life took a significant turn when he encountered radical ideologies. Influenced by the teachings of Sayyid Qutb, an Egyptian Islamist thinker, Osama bin Laden developed a deep-rooted commitment to a strict interpretation of Islam. Qutb's writings advocated for the establishment of an Islamic state governed by Sharia law, rejecting the influence of Western values. These ideologies would shape bin Laden's worldview in the years to come. As a young adult, bin Laden traveled to Afghanistan to join the resistance against the Soviet invasion. This experience fueled his passion for jihad and cemented his belief in the righteousness of armed struggle to defend Islam. Formation of al-Qaeda. As bin Laden grew older, his desire to promote and defend what he perceived as the true form of Islam intensified. This led him to establish the infamous militant group known as al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda, meaning the base in Arabic, was formed in the late 1980s. Initially, its main objective was to fight against the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. Bin Laden saw this as an opportunity to unite Muslims from around the world under a common cause. With the Soviet withdrawal, bin Laden shifted al-Qaeda's focus toward global jihad. He believed that the United States and its allies were enemies of Islam, and he declared war on them. This marked the beginning of a new era of terrorism, with al-Qaeda orchestrating several high-profile attacks in the following years. 9/11 attacks and global impact. The most infamous event associated with Osama bin Laden is undoubtedly the 9/11 attacks on the United States. These coordinated suicide attacks targeted the World Trade Center towers in New York City and the Pentagon. The 9/11 attacks had far-reaching implications. The United States, under President George W. Bush, launched a global war on terror, vowing to eliminate al-Qaeda and bring bin Laden to justice. This led to the invasion of Afghanistan in 2001 and the Iraq War in 2003. The aftermath of 9/11 reshaped global politics, security measures, and public perceptions. Governments around the world implemented tighter counterterrorism policies. Intelligence agencies intensified their efforts, and new laws were enacted to combat the evolving threat of terrorism. Bin Laden's hideout and death. For years, Osama bin Laden remained elusive, evading capture by hiding in remote regions. However, in 2011, the United States located and took action against him. After years of intelligence gathering, the United States tracked bin Laden to a compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. On May 2, 2011, a team of U.S. Navy SEALs conducted a covert operation codenamed Operation Neptune Spear. They raided the compound and, after a firefight, killed bin Laden. Legacy and continued relevance. Bin Laden's death was a significant milestone in the fight against terrorism. It dealt a severe blow to al-Qaeda, though the group still remains active today. His demise brought a sense of closure to the families affected by the 9/11 attacks and symbolized a victory for justice. However, the influence of bin Laden and his ideology still lingers. The rise of ISIS, the spread of extremist ideologies, and ongoing conflicts in the Middle East all bear testament to the enduring impact of bin Laden and the challenges faced in countering extremism. The fight against terrorism continues to evolve as new threats emerge. Governments worldwide have strengthened intelligence and security measures, focusing on intelligence sharing, surveillance, and counter-radicalization programs. Efforts are also being made to address the root causes of extremism, such as socioeconomic disparities, political instability, and lack of education. Bin Laden's legacy extends beyond the direct impact of his actions. His ideology resonated with disaffected individuals who sought a sense of purpose and belonging. Online propaganda and recruitment efforts by extremist groups continue to exploit grievances and lure vulnerable individuals into their ranks. To combat this, governments, civil society, society organizations and communities are working together to promote tolerance, understanding, and dialogue. Educational initiatives, community engagement programs, and counter-narrative campaigns aim to challenge extremist ideologies and prevent radicalization. The complexity of bin Laden. Understanding Osama bin Laden is not a simple task. He was a complex individual driven by a mixture of religious beliefs, geopolitical grievances, and personal ambition. Some argue that bin Laden's actions were a response to perceived Western aggression and interference in the Muslim world. They see him as a product of his times, shaped by historical events, political dynamics, and social factors. Others view bin Laden as an ideological zealot, driven by a distorted interpretation of Islam that justified violence and terrorism. They believe his actions were fueled by a desire for power, influence, and the establishment of an Islamic caliphate. Bin Laden's character and motivations continue to be debated among scholars, analysts, and policymakers. The complexity of his persona highlights the intricate interplay of factors that contribute to the rise of extremism and the challenges faced in countering it effectively. Reflection and remembrance. As we reflect on the life of Osama bin Laden, it is important to remember the thousands of lives lost and forever changed by the actions of him and his followers. The victims of 9/11 and subsequent terrorist attacks around the world should never be forgotten. It is equally crucial to acknowledge the resilience and determination of individuals, communities, and nations in the face of terrorism. Acts of courage, compassion, and solidarity have demonstrated the strength of humanity and the unwavering commitment to peace and justice. Bin Laden's story serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the dangers of extremism and the need for constant vigilance. It compels us to work together as a global community to promote peace, understanding, and tolerance. As we conclude our exploration into the life of Osama bin Laden, it becomes clear that he was a complex and deeply divisive figure. His actions left an indelible mark on history, and the repercussions of his ideology are still being felt today. Join us next time as we delve into another intriguing chapter of history on the Story Bypass. Thank you for watching, and remember to like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it informative. Until then, keep exploring the untold stories that shape our world.